welcome to your own YouTube channel, Shantanu's Bioprep Lab Science. This is English video, okay? Video in English language, okay? In the last video, we have discussed electron transport chain in detail, okay? In this video, we will discuss Rappaport-Levering cycle of RBC in detail. So, in this cycle, first step of ATP synthesis is bypass. First step of ATP synthesis means the ATP synthesis is going to occur over here. This is the first step. Okay, we have studied this when we were discussing glycolysis topic in detail. So the first step of ATP synthesis is this step, 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate. But in the Rappaport-Levering cycle, 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate will be converted into 2,3-bis phosphoglycerate by an enzyme bis-phosphoglycerate mutase. Okay. So if 1,3-BPG will get converted into 2,3-BPG and not 3-phosphoglycerate, will ATP synthesis occur? It will not occur, because for the ATP synthesis or for first step of ATP synthesis, 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate should be converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. But this is not the case. Okay. Why? Because 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate is getting converted into 2,3-bis phosphoglycerate and not 3-phosphoglycerate. Okay. 2,3-bis phosphoglycerate can also get converted into 3-phosphoglycerate by an enzyme 2,3-bis phosphoglycerate phosphatase. The term phosphatase means removal of phosphate group. This enzyme will remove a phosphate group from 2,3-bis phosphoglycerate and convert it into 3-phosphoglycerate. Easy? Okay. Now we will understand one concept. It is from protein and enzyme chapter, but I will explain it in shortly. Okay, I will explain it in short. Okay. Okay. We need to understand that binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin is inversely proportional to the concentration of hydrogen ions, carbon dioxide concentration and 2,3-BPG concentration. Inversely proportional means if denominator increase, numerator will decrease, or if denominator will decrease, numerator will increase. We all know that. If hydrogen ion concentration increase, means in low pH, the affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin subunits will, if this increase, this will reduce. So it will reduce. If the carbon dioxide concentration increase, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will decrease. If 2,3-BPG concentration increase, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will decrease. Okay. Now we know this. Okay. We will understand this in short. X-axis is representing partial pressure of oxygen. Unit is torr. On y-axis, oxygen saturation in percentage is there. Okay. 50% and 100% means we know that hemoglobin is a quaternary structure, hemoglobin protein, and it is also having 4 subunits. In major forms, 2 alpha subunits are there and 2 beta subunits are there. Okay. So I have shown 4 subunits over here. You can consider any two subunits at alpha and any 2 subunits at beta. It doesn't matter over here. Okay. Hemoglobin structure of protein will not look like this, but I have shown it just for the sake of understanding. Okay. So this is 2D structure just for understanding. So each square means 1 subunit. So there are total 4 subunits in hemoglobin protein. And we can observe that 2 subunits are occupied with oxygen. 1 subunit can be occupied by 1 oxygen molecule. So here 2 subunits are occupied by oxygen. How many total subunits are there? 4. if we take percentage, we will get 50%. Now you know what is 50% and what is 100%. If all the 4 subunits are occupied by oxygen molecule, it will be 100%. 4 upon 4 into 100 will be equal to 100%. But here 2 subunits are occupied by oxygen molecules, so 2 by 4 into 100 will give us 50%. Okay, and I have randomly selected values of partial pressure of oxygen, that is 50 torr, 80 torr, 90 torr. Okay, I have selected these values randomly, okay, just for the sake of understanding. Now we will discuss the affinity and its relation to partial pressure of oxygen. Partial pressure of oxygen means oxygen is exerting how much pressure upon total mixture of gases. We know that in atmosphere oxygen will also be present, nitrogen gas will also be present, carbon dioxide will also be present. But oxygen is exerting how much pressure? Okay, is known as partial pressure of oxygen. If the affinity of oxygen for hemoglobin subunits is more, if the affinity of oxygen for hemoglobin subunits is more, even if oxygen is present in less concentration, it can go and bind with the hemoglobin subunits. Why? Because affinity is more, means its attraction is more, okay, its liking is more. So even if less oxygen is present, or oxygen is present even in less concentration, it can go and bind with hemoglobin subunit. So if affinity of oxygen will decrease, we have to provide more partial pressure of oxygen in order to bind to the hemoglobin subunits. Why? Because the liking is reduced now, its attraction is reduced now. So we have to provide more partial pressure of oxygen, and we have to tell the oxygen molecules that please go and bind with hemoglobin subunits, because its affinity is decreased. Okay, so we need to increase the partial pressure of oxygen, so that oxygen molecule can bind with the hemoglobin subunit. If the affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin is very much less, we need to provide most partial pressure of oxygen so that it can bind with the hemoglobin subunits. Why most? Because its attraction towards the hemoglobin subunits is least now, or its liking for hemoglobin subunit is least now. So we have to tell oxygen molecule that please go and bind with the hemoglobin subunits. I will help you by increasing your concentration. Okay, that's why I have shown 50 torr, 80 torr, 90 torr over here. Okay, now we will understand what is hexokinase deficient, pyruvate kinase deficient, and why, and its relation on this graph. Okay, if hexokinase enzyme is deficient in RBC, glucose will not get converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, means we know that glucose and glucose 6-phosphate, this step is catalyzed by hexokinase or glucokinase. Glucokinase enzyme works when the blood glucose levels will increase. Okay, that is after meal. This we have discussed in glycolysis video in detail. If you haven't watched it, make sure to watch that video. Okay, so this first step is catalyzed by an enzyme hexokinase. If hexokinase is deficient, glucose will not get converted into glucose 6-phosphate. This will not get converted into this. 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 Okay, if 1,3-BPG is not produced, 2,3-BPG will also not produce. Okay, so there will be no 2,3-BPG formation. if there will be no 2,3 BPG formation, the binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will increase. Means even if oxygen is present in less amount, it can go and bind with the hemoglobin subunits very easily. That is, even if it is present in 50 torr or less amount, it can easily go and combine with or bind with hemoglobin subunits. Why? Because its attraction is more, its liking is more. Yes, so it can easily go and bind with hemoglobin subunit even if its concentration or partial pressure of oxygen is less, because there is no 2,3 BPG formation. If 2,3 BPG formation is not there, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will increase. Why? Because this is inversely proportional. Okay. In normal RBC, there is some concentration of 2,3 BPG already there. Okay, some concentration of 2,3 BPG is already there in RBC. Okay, due to which, if this is present in less amount, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will also decrease. Okay, so it will decrease, which means we have to provide higher partial pressure of oxygen, and we have to tell oxygen molecules that we know that your affinity for hemoglobin subunits have decreased, but we are providing you more partial pressure of oxygen so that you can go and please bind with hemoglobin subunit. That's why I have shown 80 torr over here. Okay, and when there is pyruvate kinase deficiency in RBC, it will not convert phosphoenol pyruvate into pyruvate. Means this step will not occur. Okay, if this step will not occur, there will be accumulation of phosphoenol pyruvate or PEP. If PEP accumulation occur, it will result in the formation of 2,3 BPG. This you have to remember. PEP accumulation result in the formation of 2,3 BPG. If 2,3 BPG concentration increase, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will decrease. Okay, which means now we have to provide most partial pressure of oxygen, and so that we can tell the oxygen molecule that we are providing more partial pressure of oxygen so that you can go and please bind with the hemoglobin subunits, because we know that your liking, your attraction, your affinity for oxygen, your attraction or affinity for hemoglobin is reduced because of increased 2,3 BPG. So we need to increase the partial pressure of oxygen so that it can go and bind with the hemoglobin subunit. That's why I have shown 90 torr over here. Okay, so I have shown that 2,3 BPG displaced oxygen. This displaced oxygen can enter tissues, and when the oxygen concentration in tissues will increase, it will result in more aerobic condition, due to which energy will be higher. Okay, because there will be Krebs cycle, electron transport chain. Okay, more oxygen means the NADH and FADH2 which are produced in the Krebs cycle will ultimately go and enter electron transport chain, and then ATP synthesis will occur. Molecular oxygen does not participate directly in Krebs cycle. Okay, why? Because NADH and FADH2 will enter from the Krebs cycle into the electron transport chain. Okay, and for ATP synthesis, electron transfer should be there. The last electron acceptor is oxygen. So can we say that Krebs cycle is indirectly using oxygen? Yes, but electron transport chain is directly using oxygen, because for the electron transport chain to get completed, we need oxygen, without which it cannot be complete, because the last electron acceptor in electron transport chain is oxygen. Okay, so if there is more aerobic condition, electron transport chain will occur, more ATP synthesis will occur, due to which more energy will be there, which will result in the increased survival. Okay, now we will understand the graph. this 50%, now you know that 2 subunits of hemoglobin are occupied by oxygen molecules out of 4 subunits. Okay, so 50%. This first curve is of hexokinase deficient RBC, because we know that in hexokinase deficient RBC there will be no 2,3-BPG formation. If there is no 2,3-BPG formation, which means binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will be most. Okay, if it is most, we just have to provide less partial pressure of oxygen so that it can go and bind with hemoglobin subunits, because the attraction, liking and affinity of oxygen for hemoglobin is highest now. Okay, so we just need to provide least partial pressure of oxygen so that it can go and bind easily. That's why I have shown 50 over here. Normal RBC, some concentration of BPG formation will occur. Okay, some concentration of BPG formation will occur means its affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will slightly decrease, because this is the formation of 2,3-BPG concentration is going to occur, but slightly. Okay, so there will be slight decrease in affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin subunits. So slight decrease in affinity means we have to increase the partial pressure of oxygen, and we are telling oxygen molecule that we know that your affinity for hemoglobin subunits is decreased now. So we are helping you by increasing your partial pressure of oxygen so that you can bind with the hemoglobin subunits. That's why I have shown increased partial pressure of oxygen, that is 80 torr as compared to this. Okay. Pyruvate kinase deficiency in RBC will result in increased concentration of 2,3-BPG formation. Okay, as compared to normal RBC, in pyruvate kinase deficient RBC, 2,3-BPG formation concentration or 2,3-BPG concentration will be higher. So if 2,3-BPG concentration will be higher as compared to normal RBC, the binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will be decreased. Okay, this will be decreased more than normal RBC. Okay, so if the binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will decrease, we need to increase the partial pressure of oxygen more than the normal RBC, more than what we were providing for normal RBC. Okay, and we are telling oxygen molecule that we know that your attraction, liking or affinity for hemoglobin subunits is least now, but we are also increasing your concentration, your partial pressure of oxygen more than what we were providing for normal RBC. Okay, because your affinity is more decreased now as compared to this, so we will increase your partial pressure of oxygen so that you can go and bind with the hemoglobin subunits. That's why I have shown highest partial pressure of oxygen, that is 90 torr over here. Okay, that's why pyruvate kinase graph or curve will be at the rightmost side, whereas hexokinase deficient RBC curve will be on the leftmost side, and the middle curve will be of normal RBC, because here BPG formation will occur, due to which affinity will decrease, due to which we have to provide most partial pressure of oxygen so that oxygen molecule can go and bind with hemoglobin subunits. Whereas in hexokinase deficient RBC, BPG formation is not going to occur, which means if this is not going to occur, binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will be highest. Okay, if it is highest, even if we provide very least concentration of partial pressure of oxygen, which is shown by 50 torr over here, it can go easily and bind with the hemoglobin subunits. Why? Because the affinity of oxygen for hemoglobin subunit is most, its attraction, liking is most. So even if you provide lesser partial pressure of oxygen, it can go and bind. In normal RBC, some concentration of 2,3-BPG will already be there, due to which binding affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin will slightly decrease. Okay, in case of pyruvate kinase, it will decrease most, but in case of normal RBC, binding affinity will slightly decrease. Okay, so as compared to this 50 torr, the binding affinity is going to slightly decrease, which means we have to provide slightly more partial pressure of oxygen so that oxygen molecule can bind with hemoglobin subunits. Okay, because its affinity, attraction, liking for hemoglobin subunit is slightly decreased now, so we need to increase the partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, so in the CSIR NET you can get a question like identify the A, B, C curve, and in the option they will give that A curve will represent normal RBC, B curve will represent pyruvate kinase deficient RBC, and you need to properly interpret the graph. So now you can easily interpret the graph. Okay, and one more thing you need to remember, that in RBC 40 to 50% glycolysis will occur and 40 to 50% Rappaport-Lubborin cycle will occur. So when we actually started with the video, you must be thinking that if the first step of ATP synthesis is bypassed, then why this cycle is still present or is still selected by nature? Because ATP synthesis step is bypassed, which means ATP formation will not occur. So now you know the solution of this question, that ultimately it is still going to result in the increase in energy, which result in increase in survival. Okay, that's why nature have still kept this cycle in RBC. Okay, and it accounts for 40 to 50%. 40 to 50% will be glycolysis and 40 to 50% will be Rappaport-Lubborin cycle in RBC. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you. The question from this cycle will be asked in DBT JRF, okay, as compared to CSIR NET, but we can't predict, so you can remember this. Okay, so I hope this video was very much helpful. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can also comment if you have any doubt, or you can send me the message on Telegram. I will solve your doubt. Okay, so if you are a new student, please join my Telegram group, that is Shantanu's Bioprep Life Science. I will be providing the link in the description. On that Telegram group, more than 3000 premium quality questions are uploaded for your practice. I also upload regular quizzes, short notes, tricks, and all the important updates of upcoming exam. Okay, so I hope you will like that Telegram group. Okay, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.